Good morning, everybody. I believe it is December 1st, and this actually is a whole bunch of sticks. You'll notice some short rafters on the left-hand side. There are 17 of them. I think I only need 16, but you never know. And then you'll see the fancy doodad long things sticking out. Those are the joists that will basically span the driveway. They're going to be about 18 feet long. There's 2 of them per side that I have to marry together. But this is what the kit looks like as far as the new Arbor goes. The other part of it, I'm going to pan over. Just by 1/2 of an inch, you can see it sitting back there. That's the lattice work that goes between. I can't use that because it was miscut, my fault. So anyhow, basically the entire kit consists of 2 4x4 posts, which you'll see in a second. It consists of a joist that runs to the left and to the right, connecting both sides of the driveway. And on top of that, in a little groove, sits these little 17 rafters that are about 68 inches or 58 inches long. They have a nice little, I don't know if you can see it, they have a nice little angle cut to them, both sides, to give it some architectural interest. But this one right here, these are that little one on the left is the channel into which the lattice work fits. You can see it's got a 1/2 inch groove in the middle. And we decided to do something a little bit differently, but I'll get to that in a second. This is the next step. And you can see there's a 4x4 post, and these are already screwed together. Let me get this one post out of here. You can see it sitting there. That's the there you go, fits the other way. That's the very top channel into which the lattice work will fit. But we did this one a little bit differently. The first one we actually assembled completely on the ground, of course, and it was a bit of a pain in the butt because the lattice work kept falling out of the tracks because it was just cut enough that the track held it. In some cases it barely covered the edge, but it still worked fine. It looks good. It's in there solid with tacked in all the way up and down with brad nails, 1/2 or 1 inch brads. But this time we did a little differently. I actually measured precisely the distance between the 4x4 posts from the top to the bottom. The trick is, that's the top of the Arbor, and that width has to be the exact, I mean not even a credit card thickness difference, the exact same width as the one that's already installed. And I believe that's 44 3/4 inches wide. And that's on the inside. And what I did was I just laid it all out. I tacked in the top one at exactly 45, and then I spread the bottom one out exactly 45. I double checked the measurements, and they are perfect. So this is what the outside, actually this is what's going to be facing away from you as you walk underneath the Arbor. But this is how it works, and there's the channel that you can see. It's 1 inch, actually right dead center in the middle of the 4x4 post, and it's 45 inches exactly from the bottom of that support board, which really ties everything together with 4 screws on the other side, and 45 inches from the bottom. Each of these posts is exactly the same length. Thank you, manufacturer. So when I measured the holes and I put the concrete block in the bottom of the hole, they are going to be absolutely perfectly plumb. So I'll walk you over. This is what the skeleton looks like, and I'll even back off here, and you can see that is right on the money. So we're going to walk over here. I'll be as unjumpy as possible, and you can get a good look at all of the floor on in Bronco Drive and Woodwind Acres. This is all Karen's stuff, and I'll take a video and some pictures, but you can see how it's really come back after the flood of a year ago. So, but that's not why we're filming this, or videoing it, filming. And you can see we're approaching the first installation of the east panel of the Arbor. It's all Karen and I worked diligently getting it all nice and level, or pardon me, plumb, not level, plumb. And it's perfect. I mean, it's right dead set in the middle of the bubble. But now you can see what it looks like, and I hope I don't fall in the holes behind me. It's approximately 10.5 feet tall maybe even a little taller than that, I'm not sure. These are 12-foot posts, and they're buried about 18 inches into the ground. But we have a actually 22 inches into the ground. We have a 4-inch cement block under each one so it doesn't sit on the dirt. We'll put a concrete collar on the bottom of that, maybe even 2 bags of concrete. And let me tell you folks, we thought this was light. It's not. It's heavy as all get out. But 2 people were able to lift it up, and once you get it vertical, it's pretty easy to maintain, pretty easy to handle. So you can see now how the lattice work, common stuff, fits into the channels there. The channels are secured with, I think, 6 screws, 2.5-inch screws all the way to the top. And lo and behold, we have a friend. Hey, he's sitting there in the sun getting himself all sorts of warm. That's kind of cool. That's, I guess, a good sign. But you can see how we were able to secure the support boards. I just didn't put screws in there. They have the stainless steel finish collars, and that dresses it up quite a bit. We will go over it with a stain cloth or rag just to make sure that everything is all done. At this point, this is called Kona Brown, same exact stain as the gazebo. This will age with time, and it's supposed to get darker, actually. I'm not sure, but that's the last stain that's going on there. I'm not going to do this again. However it fades, it's going to fade, but it's all treated wood anyhow, so it should last a while. And as you can see, I'll go down here, and there is the bottom of the post, and I'm not sure if you probably can't see it. There is a 4-inch thick concrete block that I hand cut for 9 inches to 9 inches by 4 inches deep, and that gives some nice support. And I'm going to try to shake this thing, and it doesn't move, trust me. So there's that 4, and those are the 4 blocks that was left over, and those will be dropped in on the right hand side of the post to make sure that the 4-inch block doesn't lift up, because it's not quite dead center. But moving over, this is these are the other 2 holes that are dug, and those boards that you see there are put in so as we lay down the bottom of each 4x4 post and try to lift it up, it would want to dig into the side of the dirt there in the hole, and that really messes things up. So by doing this way, you actually put the bottom of each 4x4 post right against those boards, and as you lift up, it very cleanly slides right down, and then you can position it in place. And let's see, I think that had a leaf in it. Here, this is a good one. Now you can see that 4x4 concrete post and how that 4x4 post will slide straight down that 2x6 into position. So that is it for the very first installation of the Arbor at Woodwind Acres, and hopefully it'll be nice and pretty. We made it this tall because every now and then we have to get a truck in here, like for tree work and so forth and so on, and I can take the top of it off, but now the top will be about 11 feet tall, or thereabouts, 10.5, 11 feet tall. So they should be able to get in. Even a small little RV can fit in here. So from Woodwind Acres at Bronco Drive in beautiful downtown Zolfo Springs, that's it. Bye.